Hey, this is Farhan. Welcome to today's video. Very exciting news for you. I recently got my blood test done and my testosterone has doubled over the last 3 years. So I know we've all been on this journey together. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Farhan, and I've been trying to boost my testosterone naturally, as well as my erection quality, my libido, my sexual stamina, my muscle mass, my fat loss, just removing toxins from the environment, just through diet, exercise, and sleep, all natural ways. I have been able to boost my testosterone, and I have been able to double it. It took 3 years. It's a long journey. And today, in this video, I'm going to show you my blood test results. I will also show you some calculations because the test I took 3 years ago was a different unit of measure when they gave me my total testosterone results. I will also show you how to calculate free testosterone and bioavailable testosterone. So you will know exactly how to calculate it for your blood test if you've already taken it. If you haven't, I urge you to go measure everything because that is the only way you know that you are actually changing your body from the inside out. I will also show you my albumin and SHbG results that I have from the before and the after. And then we will, on paper, I have this paper right here that I'm also videoing in addition to this video, and I will actually do the calculations first for converting one unit of measure to another, because as you know, there's nanograms per deciliter, then there's nanomoles per liter. There's all this chemistry jargon, and I want to make it very clear and easy for you to understand. And then we will go online. We will take any free and bioavailable testosterone calculator, so free of charge, free for you to use, and we will put my numbers in there, and I will show you that my free and bioavailable testosterone have both also doubled. And for those of you who don't know what free testosterone is, what bioavailable testosterone is, why it's important, we will also get to that later in this video. And what I've done is, in the description below, I have time-stamped everything. So if you want to watch just a specific part of the video, not the whole video, feel free to watch it and just that part that you're curious about and want to inquire about. And as always, comment below. Let me know what other questions you have, because I won't be able to address everything in this video. There's a lot to cover. There's some very easy math and chemistry to cover. And I'm going to try to cover everything I can in this video, but I won't be able to. So there's going to be definitely a part 2. And just to help me out, please let me know what questions you have, and I'll include those in part 2. And a final note for this introduction: when you go in the description below, there are links that you can click on to get free books that I'm offering. There is the Testosterone Blueprint, which is the 7 hacks to boost your testosterone naturally today. I've been following these myself over the last 3 years, so I would like you to get that book for free. There's also a link in the description below which will take you to my advanced testosterone booster program, all natural. It talks about sleep, diet, exercise, the exact menu that I used to boost my testosterone. There is a meal prep video course where I take you through exactly how to cook each food. There's also an exercise video course where I take you through exact techniques of the exercises that I used to boost my testosterone naturally. It also contains a lot of science videos about sleep, about calories, about intermittent fasting. There's also a menu for you, so if you want to follow a vegan diet, then there is a plant-based, whole foods strict menu for that. There's also a menu if you want to eat dairy and eggs and meat. There's a menu for that as well, and a few audiobooks in there, a lot of bonuses included, a lot of good stuff. And you're gonna get that in future emails if you don't wanna click on it in the description below. But make sure you check out our Advanced Testosterone Booster Program. It's known as RYM, Reclaim Your Masculinity, RYM. Okay, so that's it for the intro. Let's get started. So the first thing you see here is my before results. So this is from 2014, late 2014, around November. And you see that my testosterone total was 376 nanograms per deciliter. Now you see that here. You also see my vitamin D results. Now I don't want to get into too much vitamin D here because in future videos I will talk about all of my micronutrient results, the zinc, vitamin B12, magnesium, and vitamin D also, and also cholesterol, LDL, HDL, all that stuff will be coming up in a future video. And if you want some specific thing that you would like me to cover in terms of blood test results, something you want to interpret in your blood test or something you're curious about in my blood test, please feel free to comment below. So obviously vitamin D, just a short note here, vitamin D is very, very important. It's crucial for testosterone. So if my vitamin D was low, that is probably a factor which contributed to my low testosterone. And now this number, 376 nanograms per deciliter, when I studied it 3 years ago, what I found is that this is close to the testosterone levels of an 82-year-old man. Now later on in this video, I will get to a more recent study that was published in 2014, in which I will show you where I lie in the spectrum of how high my testosterone now is, right? So am I in the top 10% of men of my age, which is now 36, of having high testosterone? Am I in the 50%? Am I in the top 2%? Where am I in this range of men in the world, my age, in terms of total testosterone? So we're gonna get into that towards the end of the video. Okay. Now, the other thing you see on this page is something called sex hormone-binding globulin, SHBG, and my number is 32 nanomoles per liter. Now, again, we're gonna get into how to calculate all these things and what all this terminology means. We're gonna get into that soon, but I just wanna let you know that my SHBG result is right here as well. And now I will show you what my albumin result looks like. So here is my albumin results from, again, 3 years ago. It is 4.8 grams per deciliter. Okay, now you see that this is my albumin results. Now that we have spoken about albumin and SHBG, let me tell you what they mean. So here, if you look at this paper that I have in front of you, so what is it, right? So you have something known as total testosterone. Okay, now total testosterone, imagine it as basically everything, right? Every testosterone molecule in your body. Okay, every single testosterone molecule that exists in your body, that is total testosterone. But the thing is, we cannot use all the testosterone in our bodies. We can only use a little bit of it. So let's get into some other terms. You have something known as free testosterone. Okay, now what is free testosterone? Free testosterone is testosterone that is bound to nothing. It's freely moving in your blood, right? So if you need testosterone for an erection, let's say, or you need it for libido, you need it for muscle mass, you need it for fat loss, you need it for anything. There's 12 other things that testosterone is used for. Now, if you need it for any of that, beard growth, for example, you will need that free testosterone that's roaming around, okay? Now, what is SHBG and albumin? Now, there's something known as bioavailable testosterone, which is free testosterone, okay, plus the testosterone that is bound to albumin. Why? See, there's something known as affinity. Albumin has a very weak affinity to testosterone, whereas SHBG has a very strong affinity to testosterone. Think of affinity as attachment, how attracted these molecules are to each other, and they are unable to unbind, right? So with SHBG, it is very hard for testosterone to unbind. With albumin, it is very easy for testosterone to unbind. So the bioavailable testosterone is actually the testosterone that is available for us to use anytime we need it. Why? Because it can unbind from albumin very easily, but it cannot unbind from SHBG. So now, that is what we call bioavailable testosterone. So at the end of the day, total testosterone is actually, okay, bioavailable testosterone. Okay, so that's the free testosterone plus the testosterone bound to albumin plus the testosterone bound to SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. And we saw that here in the previous section, it was 32 nanomoles per liter for me. Okay, so that is what total testosterone is. Now, also, there are other structures that testosterone can bind to, like estrogen. Okay, and there's other stuff too, but that's very rare. That's not something that we take into account in the equation because it is very minimal. It is very marginal. So let's not think about that too much. This is a very, very small number here, the testosterone that is bound to estrogen. Okay, but that is what total testosterone is. That is what bioavailable testosterone is. And that is what free testosterone is. So what I'm about to show you is that my total testosterone, my free testosterone, and my bioavailable testosterone have all doubled, okay? And we're about to calculate all this now. Next, I will show you my total testosterone today. What is it? So here you see, so happy to report, you have no idea. When I got these test results, I was so happy. Just like I opened up the paper, I was looking at it, I was going down slowly, like testosterone, wow, so fantastic. I'm so happy about it. So here you see, it is 25.6 nanomoles per liter. Okay, now you take a look at the piece of paper. I've written nanomoles per liter there, 25.6. Now there's another thing I want you to take into account. If we go to the before, okay, we see that the testosterone is 376 nanograms per deciliter, but the range is 292 to 1052. So roughly 300 to 1,000, okay? Now, mine is 376. It is very much at the low end of the range, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind that different test centers will have different ranges, okay? So you have to kind of forgive them. You know, what are they gonna do? This is how their reference ranges are. This is how many people they had. You know, it's based on the number of people, you know, when the number of people came, how many people there were. That's how they establish these reference ranges. So we just have to take into account that different lab centers will have different ranges and we have to act accordingly. So mine was at the lower end of that reference range. Now, if we look at the after, my testosterone is almost at 26 nanomoles per liter, and that is at the high range, right? Because this goes from 7 to 31, okay? Or 7.6 to 31.4 to be exact. Now, what's important is that we must convert the nanomoles per liter into the nanograms per deciliter that we had in the before, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna convert the nanograms per deciliter into nanomoles per liter. Now, how do we do that? Okay, so here we see 25.6 nanomoles per liter, and we want to convert that into nanograms per deciliter. All right, now we know that the molecular mass of testosterone is 288.4 grams per mole. Okay, now that's some other chemistry that it's not really important to get into now. Okay, if you really want to know, post in a comment below and I'll make a chemistry video for you. But this is what we need to cover. All right. So how do we do that? This is very basic stoichiometry. Okay. Stoichiometry is just a fancy word for this kind of equations. Very simple. It's a very simple topic inside chemistry. Okay. So you take 25.6 nanomoles per liter, okay, and we put a little multiplication sign here because we're going to multiply everything and cancel everything out until we get nanograms per deciliter. Now look, the nano that we want to get to is already here, right? Nanomoles, N, right? It's already here, right? So this N is over here, this N, so we're not going to mess with that. Okay, now we know that testosterone is 288.4 grams per mole. So let's put that here. 288.4 grams per mole. MOL. And look what happens. The mole and the mole cancel out. Anytime you have two things like that, you can cancel them out. Okay? So they cancel out. Now remember, we're still in liters. We want to get deciliter. So 1 liter is 10 deciliters. And look what happens. The liters cancel out. And we are left with nanograms per deciliter. So all we do now is we go into our calculation. You can do this at home as I do it here. I'm just going to type it in. 25.6 times 288.4 divided by 10. And voila, we get 738.3 nanograms per deciliter testosterone. Total. Okay? Make sure this is showing up right. So that is the total testosterone that I have. So the testosterone went from 376 nanograms per deciliter to 738 nanograms per deciliter. It doubled. Almost doubled. Pretty much doubled. Okay? Yeah. I don't want to say doubled. It almost doubled. Okay? But it's more or less doubled. So how do you know it doubled? Well, all you have to do is now divide 738.3 by 376, and you're supposed to get 2 if it doubled. And the answer, if you do 738.3 over 376, it is 1.964. So it's very, very close to doubling. And in the last month since I got the test, it might have doubled now. So technically, it's probably doubled. So that's what we have. Very, very nice. Okay, but that is just the total testosterone. Who gives a shit? Total testosterone doesn't matter. What matters is free testosterone and bioavailable testosterone. So let's get into that soon. But first, what I want to do is convert from nanograms per deciliter back to nanomoles per liter to show you what would happen in that result. Okay? Now, just for fun, we're going to take the 376 nanograms per deciliter and convert it into nanomoles per liter. So just go the reverse so you're clear on what we're doing. Okay? And you can use that for your blood test as well. So again, you have 376 nanograms per deciliter. We know that testosterone is 288.4 grams per mole. Okay, so again, look, the grams, right here, you see it's very simple. So now all you're going to do is you use this equation, but now you have to put the grams here, 288.4 grams per mole. Because remember, you're going from nanograms per deciliter to nanomoles per liter. So you want the mole, right? This is MOL, mole, to be on top because it's right here and the nano is already here. So now look, the grams cancel. Very simple. And now again, 10 deciliters is 1 liter. So the deciliters cancel. And look what you have remaining. Nanomoles per liter. Simple, right? And now you just put it in your equation. You just go on Google or you grab a calculator. You do 376 multiplied by 10 divided by 288.4, and the result is 13.04 nanomoles per liter. Okay? Now, if we take a look at this and we look at what my testosterone is today, so again, we go back to the after and we see it's 25.6 nanomoles per liter. So this is 2014 and this is 2017. Okay, so in 3 years, there's a double of total testosterone. Now, we haven't really looked at free or bioavailable testosterone yet, so let's look at it now. So here, what I will show you again is my albumin results from this year, okay? So from 2017, so last year. Now it's 2018, so last year. My albumin is 45 grams per liter, okay, as you see here. In the before, we saw that the albumin was 4.8 grams per deciliter, or 48. Okay, so it went from 48 grams per liter to 45 grams per liter. So that's not a huge change at all for albumin, okay? Now we look at SHBG, the before, we have 32 nanomoles per liter, and the after, we have, right here, we just go down a little bit, and we have 40 nanomoles per liter. So SHBG went from 32 to 40. Now, all we have to do to calculate free and bioavailable testosterone is to go online and use a free bioavailable and free testosterone calculator. Okay, so go into Google, just type in free and bioavailable testosterone calculator and just click on the first link, or I'm actually gonna give it to you here. It's gonna be written on the screen, so just go to that site right now and do it with me, okay? So here is the site. Before we get into the calculation online, I want to just write down what our results are, okay? So before, we have testosterone, albumin, SHBG, okay? And then we have after, testosterone, albumin, SHBG, all right? So testosterone was 376 nanograms per deciliter, that's before. Albumin was 4.8, and the unit, I believe, let's look at the, and the unit is grams per deciliter, and SHBG was 32 nanomoles per liter. Okay? After, testosterone is 738.4 nanograms per deciliter. Albumin is 4.5 grams per deciliter. And SHBG is 40 nanomoles per liter. Okay? Now we're going to use this data to enter into the online calculator to calculate the free and bioavailable testosterone, and then I will show you the bar graphs to show you how they've doubled. So here we go. So here, let's do the before first, okay? So we know that the albumin is 4.8, all right? SHBG is 32 nanomoles per liter, and testosterone is 376 nanograms per deciliter. And then all you do is go to calculate, you click, and boom, you get 7.31 nanograms per deciliter of free testosterone, which is 1.94% of total testosterone, okay? What we want is our free testosterone to be anywhere from 1 to 2%. That's what the range is. Anything greater than 2% is even better. And the bioavailable testosterone is 190 nanograms per deciliter, and that's 50.7%. So what I'm going to do is write this down, okay? And I'm going to write it down in the same sheet of paper that we just wrote down our numbers, and then I'm going to show you that, okay? So the free testosterone is 7.31 nanograms per deciliter, and the bioavailable testosterone is 190 nanograms per deciliter. Okay, now let's do the after free and bioavailable testosterone. So now the albumin changed to 4.5, the SHBG changed to 40, the Testosterone changed to 738.4. Now if we do a calculation, we get 14.5 nanograms per deciliter for free testosterone, and we get 356 nanograms per deciliter for bioavailable testosterone. So I'm going to write that down as well. Free testosterone, bioavailable testosterone. We have 14.5 nanograms per deciliter and 356 nanograms per deciliter. All right, so it's that simple. Now let me show you the sheet again. So here, the free testosterone has gone from 7.31 to 14.5, and the bioavailable from 190 to 356, both again doubled, which is fantastic. That's the result I wanted to show you. Not only does the total testosterone doubled, but the bioavailable and the free testosterone have doubled too, which are actually what matter to our physiology, because we want to have testosterone to be able to actually use it when we need it. Okay? So now let me show you some bar graphs. So here I've made a bar graph of the total testosterone. You see that from November 2014 to December 2017, approximately 3 years, testosterone doubled. Here you see the bar graph. And then you see the free testosterone, 7.3 to 14.5, which I've done for you as well. And then here we see the bioavailable testosterone from 190 to 356 nanograms per deciliter. Now you know how to calculate, go back and forth, which is wonderful. You also know what these terms mean: free testosterone, bioavailable testosterone. Great. Now, again, I will cover a lot of stuff in a future video. Whatever I've left out, so comment below. The other thing is, for me, the way that I boosted my testosterone is there was no injections, there was no supplements, there was not anything that I used that wasn't natural. Okay, so it's essentially diet, exercise, sleep, removing toxins from the environment, being very careful in what environment I'm around, and taking care of my intermittent fasting, like fasting a lot. I did a lot of fasting in specific protocols. And just understanding the science of everything, understanding the science of stress, because stress plays a huge factor in decreasing testosterone, as we all know. And that's why it took me 3 years to double it. It didn't happen in 90 days. It's going to take time. It takes a lot of time. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't boost your testosterone a little bit quickly, right? So even if it took 3 years to double my testosterone, it is possible to have testosterone go up by a couple of 100 points, or 150 points, 200 points in a matter of months. So to conclude, I'm about to show you where I lie in the entire spectrum of men my age in terms of having high testosterone. So here is a recent paper that was published in 2014, and here in table 3, what we see is on the x-axis, or on the leftmost column, it's not an x-axis, but the leftmost column, you see age, and on the top you see percentiles. Okay, so what does that mean? So if you look at, let's say, the very end, 99, if total testosterone for me or for anyone lies in that range or in that number, that means I or you or whoever is in the 99th percentile of men at that age with that total testosterone. Okay, so let's do an example for me. So if you go to the 36 age row, you see that I lie right here between the 97.5% and the 99th percentile. So that means my testosterone is higher for my age than 98% of men out there, which is fucking wonderful. Okay, so all the hard work that I've been doing, that we've all been doing, is paying off. It's fantastic. They did not have data on free testosterone or bioavailable testosterone yet, but I reckon, or I hypothesize, that it will be very, very similar result. Now, in terms of how they got this data, how they extrapolated based on all of these different studies and different lab results, I can cover that in another video. Here, I just wanted to show you that there is a paper that looks at this, and you're welcome to go read it. By the way, in the description below, all the different papers have been cited that I use in any video that I ever do. So please take a look at those papers and read them carefully and take advantage of them. Take advantage of this free knowledge that is out there. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Very happy for our tribe, for our community, for our family, for each other. So, keep on going. If you wonder about the hacks that I'm using to boost my testosterone naturally, the 7 hacks that you can use to boost your testosterone naturally today, which is my book, The Testosterone Blueprint, that's available to you for free. So go in the description below and access that free of charge. If you want the entire course, the comprehensive course, the meal prep, the menus, the grocery list, the how to actually prepare the meals, the video courses, the audiobooks, all the bonus material that we have in there. If you want all of that stuff, then you can access that too. It's known as RIM, Reclaim Your Masculinity, and that is also in the description below. You can just click and access it. Okay, that's it for today. Give a like, thumbs up. Let's spread the news and share it with people so they can also benefit. They can learn about all these different terminologies, how to do different calculations. I think it's really, really good that people know how to do this. This is our masculinity. This is our health. This is our sexual health. Why are we boosting testosterone? It's not just because of this word testosterone. No, it's because, yes, we want to look better. We want to grow muscle. We want to lose fat. But we also want to have great sexuality. We want to have great libido. Even in older age, we want to be able to, have a great sex life and be great in bed, have great erections, have great stamina and endurance, great energy day to day, right? All of these things are associated with testosterone and balancing our hormone levels. And we want to have low cortisol, low stress. So that's why we boost testosterone, and we do it naturally. All right. Now, this is not the end. This 738.4 number, it does not stop here. I'm going to take my testosterone to above 1,000, okay? And I want to get into that 99.9 percentile, not in the 98th percentile, okay? Now, in order for me to do that, I'm going to continue to eat healthy. I'm going to continue to exercise and just, have low stress and just follow exactly what I've been following for the last 3 years, be it a strict plant-based whole foods diet or be it with meat, dairy, and eggs. We will see what I do. As you know, I experiment and there is no strict ideology we follow. Don't call me vegan. Don't call me someone who only eats plant-based diet, even though I do right now. In the next week, in the next 2 weeks, if I start eating meat again, start eating eggs or dairy again, it's going to be another experiment that I need to do. And it's based on what I read. It's based on what I don't know, because remember, we don't know what we don't know. There's a lot of conflicting stuff out there in terms of nutrition. You and I know that, and I study it all the time. Things like saturated fat and cholesterol and meat and eggs, and there's a lot of confusion. Different doctors say different things, and a lot of the time the doctors say opposite things, and that confuses us even more. And I'm with you. I might be even more confused because I read so much more. So we want to make this testosterone go to 1,000, and one thing that I'm going to add to my regimen for sure is herbs. As you know, I've been taking a lot of spices recently, and over the last 3 years, I do a lot of spices, spice shots, and so on. But one thing I'm going to bring in is herbs. So there are some herbs that have been scientifically proven to boost testosterone and libido and erection quality, and it's very, very solid evidence in terms of clinical trials. Actual clinical trials have been done. So I'm going to do more and more research. I'm going to find the company that is the best in the world that I can trust because of their content, because of who's behind it, because the way they harvest it, the way they grow it, the way they source it, the way they manufacture it. I'm going to find the best company in the world for that. I'm going to find the best formulation for that, right? So not just put in this thing for boosting testosterone in a very yang way, but what about the yin? What about balancing it out? What about not having high stress, not having high cortisol? So we're going to look at the best company, the best product, and if it doesn't fucking exist, I'm going to make it myself. Because what I want to do is use the earth, use natural plants, use herbs, use the shit that we've been given by nature, and use that to boost our testosterone, not just by eating great and healthy and vegetables and great food. That's not just the answer. I think there's more, because if I'm plateauing around 750, I want to get to 1,000 and even more than that. So you and I are on this journey together. I'm going to keep you posted on what herbs I try. Make sure you're following my Instagram stories at Doc Testosterone. That's where I update you on everything that I'm doing day to day. Follow me on Instagram as well at Doc Testosterone. And yeah, comment below any comments you have. Share this with your friends. Would love for you to benefit, and everyone in the world to benefit from this video. And that's it. Yeah. And subscribe to the channel if you want to get further notifications, and add yourself to our Facebook group, Biggest Balls in the Game. A lot of engagement there. I'm there all day reading and writing. It's Balls with a Z, Biggest Balls in the Game. That's the name of our Facebook group. It's private, so you'll have to get accepted. So please apply for that. Okay, this is Farhan. That's it for today. Thank you all for listening. Again, super happy. Congratulations to our whole tribe that, you know, we did this, and I did this all with you guys and with your help and with your love and support. So thanks very much. Have a nice day. See you soon.